All right, quick and dirty shave tonight. Got to get some sleep. I am pooped. Taj Semogue Owners Club has that nice ivory-looking resin handle. It's more slippery than the wood, but it's I like the weight. It's a little heavier than the wood. I think it's pretty. So I bought both of them. Had the wood long before. We're going to put a feather in the razor. This is my feather that has gone on quite a bit. 55 uses already, and so we're going to throw on another one tonight. This is my cup of Williams mug. It's got 2 teaspoons of water sitting on it and has had that for a couple minutes. And then the razor is my vintage Gillette adjustable, and this one's called the Slim. The head looks very similar to the Fat Boy. It is slightly different because they do shave a little differently, but the handle is longer and also slimmer. And so we've named it. We've nicknamed it over the decades. We've named it the Slim. I guess probably because it's a little bit thinner than the Fat Boy, which probably got that name because of a relative comparison between the skinny one. All right, so kind of a no-nonsense shave tonight. Stayed up too late last night. This is my marathon blade, so I'm going to show you a little kind of signature mark that I have on it. And we do have it on the same setting as the Fat Boy. Started last night with the 5. And then my post-shave today, another Stirling splash, and this one's City Slicker. I'm a big fan of that scent as well. Get my face wet. "24 hours approximately between shaves. I do have hard water. All right, let us load up. Just a few minutes soak on the brush tonight, nothing like yesterday. Gonna shake most of the water out. And so the bit of water, the 2 teaspoons of water here, is serving 2 purposes. Number 1, it's softening the puck, and number 2, it's going to help make the lather. We're going to load for 30 seconds today, and that's half the time from yesterday. So we're going to start at the 40 mark, so we'll go to the 10 mark on my phone's clock there. Yesterday I did 4 teaspoons, and I loaded for 60 seconds, and I had way too much lather, so that's why we're reducing it today. We'll just see what we end up with. Had some friends online say that Williams makes a big difference, and that's 30. It's a lot different than yesterday. It's not as mature. It's more airy than it was yesterday, but yesterday just had way too much soap, too much load time. There's too much soap in it. All right, so we'll just see what this does. Anyway, some online friends said that Williams is a big change between if you come at it every month you shave with Williams, because then it's going to be a dry soap every month, versus if you shave with it every day, then it's more like a normal soap, and it's not all that hard to lather because that moisture stays in the soap, and then you just get to use it every day. But then if you use it sparingly so that it dries out, you have to change the loading in the water because it's all dry and stuff. And that makes sense. All right, so it doesn't look like very much. It looks thin and airy. Let's just see what it develops into. I do know that my water yesterday, now see, this is really watery, so maybe a whole teaspoon is a little too, a whole 2 teaspoons is too wet. At least to start out with. Maybe you need to kind of work it on you a little bit more before you start adding that water. I did a month of Williams in 2018 in August. Had a great time lathering with it in the bowl. It is more challenging with the bowl. but I did get to some, it just takes longer to work, and I did get to some really good places at that time, but I wasn't really as good or interested in face lathering at the time. You know, it was kind of erupting there for a second, but as you can see, it's kind of calmed down. This brush is working out great. It's got density. Right now it's young. It's only 6 uses old or so, and so his bloom hasn't opened up. He may end up to be too big for me once he gets his bloom. Yeah, look at that. We got some lather around. Now, I'm going to take my measure here of 2 teaspoons and just start adding a little bit. But the tips on this brush are not bothering me at all. Just kind of a very gentle scrub. I do feel some backbone. You know, it's not splaying completely. See, now look at that big old thick clod. Now see, look, this is why I like the bowl. I've got the stuff right here on my neck that's dripping down that's too thin. And this guy is a little too thick. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with face lathering. And actually, as you can see, I'm starting to get more lather here. I'm going to put it in my cup a little bit. I want to get this a little slicker. A little too dry right now. And as you can see, it's not really all that hard to whip up a Williams lather, is it? Just have to have enough water and load for long enough. And it helps to have it still be wet from the previous day. Definitely likes to have that water in there when you're loading up your brush and stuff. Still could go with more water, but I'm going to save some time tonight and quit. See, that's the thing about face loading, face lathering like that. If I would have started out with more water on the brush, as you can see, it was just kind of pouring off of me in the very beginning. So I don't think that would have helped. It's just kind of this tedious thing of adding water, and that's not really me. So I like the bowl. Fat Boy did really well yesterday. So let's see how the Slim does. Doing all right. Definitely a tuggy feeling, but kind of a comfortable tuggy feeling. I think the Fat Boy was a little better. Of course, I bet in this case it's the lather. You know, the lather's just not quite slick enough. It's not protecting quite as well as it did yesterday. Unless I switch back to my Fat Boy and kind of use this dry lather, relatively dry, just to see. That'd be interesting. See if somehow maybe the Fat Boy's geometry agrees to me, you know, agrees with me a little bit more than the Slim. That's a possibility. But a lot of people like the geometry of the Slim better. They say it's the better one, but yeah, look at this slick lather. It doesn't dissipate or anything like that. Most people think Williams does that. Doesn't have to if you do it right. And you saw me. I didn't do anything special. I don't think it's all that complicated to whip up this kind of lather. Now this is a little thin right now because I raked off a bunch of the lather in the mug. So now I can go and retrieve it. I mean, you know, here's the point. Today I had some Williams that was wet from the previous day. I poured some water on it and I loaded the brush with some of the water still in the mug, and I think that might just be kind of the point that a lot of people miss. Look at this creamy lather here. It's so slick. And this is a luxury feeling lather. It doesn't have any of the moisturizers, and so that's not the kind of luxury I'm talking about. I'm talking about a creamy feel, ultra slick, performance type lather. Cross grain now. I think this Slim might be a little more vocal than my Fat Boy. I don't think he was this noisy. Still just a tiny bit of tugging, but it's not really a big deal. Nice protection. I feel like as long as I don't go nuts with, you know, my directional passes. And here I can pull out some of the lather that was in my goatee and do kind of a little touch up right here. Very light touchings. Very light touch. All right, we'll rinse. All right, now scoop a little bit more of the lather out of the mug. Just apply it, don't really have to do any scrubbing. Sometimes I do just to feel the brush. Sometimes it's just habit. I enjoy the feel of it. I think the brush might be my favorite part of the shaving experience. And cross grain again. I don't go against the grain. Don't really feel the need to. I get really close shaves this way. And of course, this is a comfortable pass now because I've already taken off pretty much all of the hairs. So I don't know, I mean, if the lather is not playing with my sensation, my feel, if it's not playing with it, then the Fat Boy yesterday was a lot nicer than this Slim today. Smoother, less noisy. All right, full rinse. Don't know what about Stirling kind of works my face over a little bit. it's too strong. Don't know if it's the essential oils they use for the scent and stuff, or the fragrance oils, or just the alcohol content, but it's a little too much for my skin right after a shave. A couple hours, I'm fine. I can throw Stirling on me all day. It's fine. It's just, I guess it's just the tender nature of my skin after the shave. But since I just put on witch hazel, Thayer's unscented, alcohol free, maybe that will help. City Slicker. This was temporary and they took it off the shelves. Apparently nobody else likes it other than me, but I love it. Oh man, it's so good. Nice. All right, well there we go. Barely any stinging at all. That's one of the nice things about taking a blade past that first 10 uses or so. You get this wonderful smoothness. You're not roughing your face up, and I often get no zinging at all from the alcohol. All right, there we go. That's all good. I'm ending about kind of where I wanted to end today, and that's it. It was a decent face lather experience. I felt a little luxurious. I do kind of feel slighted just a bit because it takes too much time. It takes more scrubbing on my face than I really want to use to get the hydration right. Because if I start with too much on the brush, it just comes off. I'm slinging my brush out here in the sink, kind of like this. And that gets rid of a lot of the standing water. And this is what I do to my boar brushes after each shave. And then I just strop them up and down on my towel just to kind of get rid of most of the water. And that's it. And I look at them and I show you guys the blooms. We can watch it all happen. He's opening up gradually. He doesn't have too many uses on him. So we'll put him back up with his buddies. Maybe I'll use him tomorrow, I don't know. And so there we go. Okay. I did end up adding more water, 1 1/4 teaspoons more. So total 3 1/4 teaspoons of water used for this lather with 30 seconds of loading. And that seemed like about the right amount of soap. Here's my mug after the end, so you know I had plenty to do the job. So that might be the right load time. But what I was saying about the face lathering was that here you are. You need to get. I needed more water in that soap. It could have been a little nicer. Could have been a little slicker, a little more hydrated if I would have kept going with the water. But it just felt like a chore, and I don't want you guys to have to, get frustrated with that, or that kind of thing. But you just keep working it until it's the way you feel. Now that's the benefit of face lathering, is that your face has the receptors and the nerves to feel the lather. Unlike a bowl. You can't feel the creaminess as you're mixing it, so it's harder to know when to stop. But your face, it's a lot easier to tell when to stop. But the bowl's more, in terms of muscle movement, you can just sit there, wrist action or arm action, elbow. It's just very easy and quick to whip up a lather. Whereas on your face, I'm having to go all the way around. Watch out for it flopping around. In the bowl, it doesn't have anywhere to go, so it can't get on your shirt quite yet. There's different things about bowl lathering and face lathering that are pros and cons. But there we go. I don't think I need to load any longer because like I showed you, the soap seemed to be right. So 30 seconds, seemed to be pretty good. If I add more than 2 teaspoons of water to the mug, you saw how it just was pouring out of as I was applying it. I don't think I need to add any more water. If I add less, then that's more I have to add toward the end of the shave. So maybe this was, pretty optimal. I'll have to ask my face lathering buddies to look at this video and recommend maybe a different water procedure or something like that. Or maybe just let it be messy. Let it be the way it was today. And that's fine. So, yeah, there's different. So, one of you guys, was it Tom? I can't remember who it was. I was just reading it a minute ago. Commented that that's why he shaves without a shirt on. Because yesterday it was even worse. There was lather all over my shirt. And he said that's why he shaves without a shirt on. And because of all the mess and the soap and stuff. You know, maybe I could save on soap if I shaved without a shirt, then just jumped in the shower afterwards. I wouldn't have to use any in the shower, right? All right. Well, there we go. Face feels good, no irritation or anything. I did have just a little bit of tugging in that first pass, but it was just not any kind of painful or uncomfortable tugging at all. Not very much at all, and it didn't last very long. I got a nice feel to my face. Let's check out nice closeness too. Wow, and I don't see any redness. Yeah, that witch hazel. That really helped to calm down my skin. The Thayers. I want to order I want to order the kind they have that does have alcohol. I've heard that lets them have a higher concentration of witch hazel in it, because the process of making witch hazel it makes it have alcohol in it. So they have to weaken it if they want to have it be alcohol free. And I've got oily skin anyway, so I don't mind having a little bit of alcohol in my post-shave products to help combat my oily skin. Well, all right, folks. I hope there was something here for you. I don't know if I want to do a Williams lather tomorrow anyway. I might let it wait a few days to maybe hear from a few of my friends online and see if they can make some recommendations to improve my face lather. Maybe I need to add water a little faster to the brush, or not care if it, leaks out while I'm shaving. Maybe that's the collateral damage that you just kind of have to accept. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get some wisdom from some other folks. And this City Slicker smells so good. I like that. I've got the soap too. I'll use it sometime. Well, all right. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care. I'm glad that I'm going to sleep. It's been a long few days. You take care. Good night.